But I want to get in a second big area of question, which is about how you arrange for the system to make good decisions, which you do. You're not changing the language model. You're doing prompt engineering. And I understand you have a whole set of models that you use for different goals and different ways that the conversation has been channeled to. That makes good sense. And so for all of these, what makes them good? Which makes the choices and the words and the actions evaluated as good? Well, one thing you said is that you look at what's happened. You have auditors or people that go in and look at, 80% of the cases seem like they were done well. So you have people do them, and then you run many things, and you have people look at the results, and you judge. So I think you can do a great, maybe you can do the whole thing with human evaluators to judge the performance of the system. And then maybe you can do different things that can be automated changes. Okay, yeah. So where are you guys on that dimension?
I can walk through that. That's actually where we started. And our whole, redesign of Ada to have LLMs at the core was in establishing the quality of the system and the performance of the system. So we started off with an internal effort to annotate conversations. So we went out there, everybody in my team read a whole bunch of conversations, and we assessed them against a definition of an automated resolution. And this was, years ago now, but we came at a number which was 29% plus minus 6% based on our sample size. So that was our performance of the system on a previous workflow-based version of our software. We then said, this is great. We finally have like a metric that we seem to have some perspective on performance. How are we now going to take this and apply it across every conversation that's happening on Ada automatically without having to spend the fortune in annotators that are reading and disagreeing and trying to interpret the results? So the first thing we built was this pipeline where we were using an LLM as a judge. We essentially encoded the definition and how to establish and do an audit of a conversation into a prompt. And we applied this in batch mode across all of the conversations that were happening across Ada and getting a bunch of different output data points from this. One, was it automatically resolved? Yes or no? If not, why not? If yes, why? And we built this in a machine readable way that we could then go and do further analysis on. This became the foundation for a couple of things. One, we use it for a product feature that allows our customers to get very in-depth reporting very quickly. So as soon as a conversation ends, they can go back, look at it, and see what the LLM as a judge has provided. They can also override this, and they can say, no, actually, this wasn't resolved because of whatever reason. We encode this, we'll use it in subsequent fine-tunes of the model. We actually got so confident in this approach because of the agreement rates we saw with the automated system of measurement and the humans that were auditing that automation, that we started to bill for it. And we have customers that are paying us entirely on the basis of this automated LLM-based evaluation of performance. And in many of those contracts, what we've worked in as a clause to get customers comfortable with it is a human audit process where we'll take the same set of conversations, we'll allow their team to look at that set, and we'll establish a baseline for what is the delta between them. That's why we know we have high agreement rates, because it's not only with our internal auditors. That system that we've built also agrees quite well with our customers that are looking to drive down the cost of the bill and always pushing us on our performance. So we're by no means done. We want to keep on refining the quality of this automated reporting, but it's actually been the key thing because we use it in product for reporting, we use it for billing, and we also use it for all of our test beds to understand regressions in our own performance. We look at this on an automated basis to make our decisions.
So that's great. That's about evaluating the system, not changing the system. Mm-hmm. There's also a step where you have to create the system and the system's behavior. Roughly speaking, how is that done? Is that automated or is that done by people?
Yeah. So when our team makes any changes to Ada, they're able to essentially run a command within their development environment that will stage their changes and test it automatically against simulated customers that are asking questions of the system. And we observe on the performance of this automated resolution metric, we observe deltas in the system. So have we changed in any way? We also measure some other associated metrics at the same time, but that's all part of our development pipeline that our own team can have access to. Then within the product, when a customer makes a change on something, say they add in a new alignment instruction and they say, whenever a customer asks a question, you should end it with a relevant follow-up question to keep the conversation going. It could be an example of something that they would tell the system. We're able to have them replay the conversation that prompted them to make that change, and then observe whether or not the change had the intended effect. So again, that's a very micro level, but they can look on a unit basis and see how is the system behaving in response to my instruction. And I think gradually we're going to expand this to give our customers the same ability to get more confidence on the changes they're making by running this across more permutations of the input and to understand how the output is changing.